Welcome to Blowing Solutions Wide Open, where we're talking about all things spiritual, as well as creating new systems in the area of healthcare, finance, government, education, new environmental practices, and anything that helps the planet or helps humanity. My name is Addie, and today I want to talk to you guys about a post that I saw on LinkedIn, caught my attention, something pretty cool that I learned about, and I decided to go do a little more research myself. I'm not going to actually try to say the technical name of this mushroom species because I'll mutilate it, but I'll leave it in the description of this video. And if you want to do your own research, you can just look it up there. But sorry for my poor reading skills. I'll do the best I can. But here's what I found out about this mushroom species. Students from Yale University discovered a mushroom species that can eat plastic, and it comes from the Amazon rainforest. These mushrooms can survive on plastic alone. The fungi consume polyurethane, which is one of the nastiest plastics out there, and they convert it into organic matter such as biofuels. These plastic-eating mushrooms can also live without oxygen and light, making them the perfect candidate for cleaning up landfills. That's actually a really big deal. They are known to eat more than just plastic. From oil spills to radiation, mushrooms digest what other methods cannot touch. In 2020, there was a study published in Biotechnology Reports. It found that fungi's ability to break down different types of environmental pollutants caused it to be an effective tool in waste remediation, so much so that when applied to agricultural waste like pesticides, herbicides, and sanotoxins, I don't know if I said that right, it is more cost-effective and eco-friendly than current methods. So this is a side note that I wrote down. It has to do with all mushroom species. It sounds like there's like 2 to 3 million of them that have been discovered. But even when a species of mushrooms is not edible, they have other amazing uses, such as making furniture, building materials, and I personally have also heard of mushroom leather. They also have been found to remove pollutants from the soil, and that is actually really important. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Forward-thinking scientists believe every household could own a home recycling kit where these mushrooms will consume plastic on a smaller scale. Simultaneously, landfills and community recycling centers could have larger scale fungi systems to make use of this process. It starts with us consuming less plastic. But even then, we are still left with all of the overconsumption and production that we have already engaged in. And that's where I think nature can come in and do its part. So, I had not heard of these mushrooms until about a week ago. Apparently they've been around since the 1800s, and I'm starting to find that a lot of the solutions on this planet to clean up the environmental crisis that we actually are in, a lot of people don't know it, but we are in quite a crisis. But a lot of those solutions have been around forever, but you know, the information's been suppressed, and because of the way we've been doing things, these solutions are kind of being overpowered by all the poison all over the place. And so, if you're not familiar with this information, scientists have estimated that we are roughly about less than 60, that's 60 years away from having 100% deplete soil. When soil depletes, so does humanity. We can't survive that. And their estimates are just based on the amount of poison that's being pumped into the environment currently. So if that increases, then, the estimated, you know, time that we have is decreased. So I don't know about you, but that is our kids' life. That's young people, but it's not just young people that we need to look at in regards to that, because I can tell you from my own experiences, I'm pretty sure that the road to that soil depletion is paved in total illness. And one of the reasons why I can say that with a lot of confidence is, well, it has to do with what I've been through. I don't want to get into too many details about this. I don't want to bore you, and it really doesn't matter. But I'm somebody that has an incredibly high immune system. I have not been sick from another person in 35 years. And so the fact that I have been susceptible to this tells me that there are plenty of people that could end up experiencing a lot of what I've been going through. I actually have been sick a lot, but not from other people. the symptoms are extremely strange, but they've threatened my life a lot. They've brought me to my knees a lot. And I'll tell you a few just that aren't so weird. Major breathing problems, and it's not an asthma thing at all. I've had, full body rashes that put me in the hospital, and I've had that a lot. And migraines constantly, and on and on. The list goes on. It doesn't matter. Point is that I've done everything under the sun that I can think of for at least 28 of the 38 years that I have been really sick. I mean, we're talking tons of holistic industry stuff, supplements, tons of energy work, you know, I did some things with the medical industry. None of it has touched my conditions. I've only gotten worse, and up until maybe recently. But the point to this is that if I can fall kind of, to these sicknesses, I believe most people can. Yes, it's true. I am obviously quite sensitive. I think I'm sensitive to the poison on the planet is what it is. The one kind of thing that I can tell you in regards to all the people that I've worked with to try to get better is that many of them have felt that I have some kind of mold allergy. I agree with that, but this is beyond mold allergy. I've done many mold treatments, none of them work. And I can tell you that this is beyond that. And so the reason I'm saying this is that, yeah, I might be sensitive to the poisons, but if things continue to get worse, if we continue to poison this planet more and more, I can't help thinking that many people could fall into the nightmare that I've fallen into. Believe me, there's a lot that I'm withholding about what I've been through, and it is not for the weak. It would send most people to their grave, I think. And so, I don't wish this on anyone. I don't, I'll do anything I can to keep people from going through a lot of what I've gone through. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I am so kind of passionate about changing what's going on the planet. It's because up until the last couple of years, I was not connecting the dots between what I've been going through physically, like the nightmare of a health situation I've been going through physically, and our environment. And now I'm starting to really see clearly that they're very interconnected. And so I don't just think it's our kids that we need to be concerned about in regards to cleaning things up. I think that it's all of us. I think that we may not quite understand, how close we are to the edge, but the point is that there are solutions. The more I learn about mushrooms, the more I am like dumbfounded at how intelligent these things are. It has been said by multiple people that the earth has had multiple civilizations that have fallen, meaning that have like ceased to exist because of one thing or another. I don't know all this, I don't know everything that's happened, but I can only imagine, either civilizations that have blown themselves up or done what we're doing right now and poisoned themselves to death. And it sounds like the only thing that survived a lot of that has been like the fungi on the planet, and then the mycelium, which is their root system underneath the dirt or underneath the earth. And so, these things are strong. If they can survive with a lack of oxygen and a lack of light, that there's nothing really else that can survive like that. And so I think there's a lot of, intelligence and a lot of solutions to be had with these things. I mean, we're seeing more and more information come out, more and more products, more and more benefits that people are getting. These receptors, I think it's the receptors in a lot of these mushrooms are like a perfect fit to our brain receptors. So a lot of people are getting, brain help from mushrooms. Anyhow, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Ultimately it's going to be up to the individual to, shift this thing like usual. I recently haven't had an experience where I've been kind of dealing with some of the landfills around where I live. And I can tell you, they don't care. Most of them don't recycle, or I should say, don't compost things. Like they'll charge you for your yard waste, but they won't compost it. There's some that will, but only if you like only have like grass clippings or, grass and leaves and things like that, or you only have dirt, they won't let you combine them. And so that like it's just like they don't really care. They don't really get that, how vital it is for us to start changing our ways. And so it starts with people. It starts with individual people starting to care and starting to educate each other on this. And I'm personally going to eventually look into these recycling kits that they're not recycling, these mushroom kits that they're talking about, because it might not seem like a lot, but when each individual person starts doing their part, it absolutely adds up. Uh, you might not think that you composting and you getting a mushroom eating plastic kit doesn't do much, but when many, many people participate in that, it really does. And I believe Mother Earth is more than willing to replenish herself, reset, rejuvenate, but she needs us to work with her. She needs us to bring back our ecosystems in order to, start to rejuvenate. And I think it's stupid if you're really, not caring about this at this point in time. It's going to eventually have an effect on you. It's going to have an effect on all of us, and we have the solutions at hand. It just takes each individual person caring. So I'll get off my soapbox about this, but it's to me, it's so obvious. I am dumbfounded at how much resistance people throw up when I try to talk about this stuff sometimes. Another thing I'll talk about real quick is that chlorine pools, for example. Everyone in America is used to chlorine pools, right? And they get really annoyed when you talk about how not good those are for the environment. But in fact, chlorine is not good for the environment. It's not very good at killing bacteria, and it's not really that good for our bodies. Well, there's other countries that use ozonated pools. They use ozone for their water, which is incredibly good for the environment. It's great for our bodies, and it kills 99.9% of bacteria. And so, it's things like that we could absolutely start doing if people cared and people spoke up. And so, guys, there's solutions all over. If you have other ideas around the environment, or other things about it, let me know. Let me know in the comments, or email me at blowingsolutionswideopen@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you want to talk about spirituality or creating new systems on the planet, let me know. That's totally up my alley. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content, or you want to get alternative information out like this to other people. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.